One-time WWE Divas Champion, one-time WWE 24/7 Champion, ranked number 17 of the top 50 female wrestlers in the PWI Female 50 in 2010. Ladies, gentlemen, my non-binary friends, it is I, Josh Robinson, here for Love Wrestling, and today we're getting crazy, like a fox, because it's the legacy of Alicia Fox. After a few years in OVW and FCW, in 2008, Alicia Fox would make her debut in WWE on an episode of SmackDown in a backstage segment with Vicky Guerrero, which of course she was portraying Guerrero and Edge's wedding planner. I think everyone remembers this. She ended up, Edge was with Alicia Fox for a hot minute and it fizzled out quite fast. Alicia Fox was the wedding planner for a little while. Alicia Fox's kind of introduction to WWE was a little weird. She was on SmackDown as the wedding planner, then she was on ECW managing DJ Gabriel. She was then with Zack Ryder for a little while. She was doing different things on ECW and SmackDown and just was in a little bit of a weird time, I guess you could say. She was wrestling a little bit. She would work on Raw, she would work on SmackDown. I think with Alicia Fox's debut and switching brands, she was trying to find her place on the WWE main roster, and it was a little bit of a rocky start. Now, she went back and forth between ECW, SmackDown, and Raw for a little while, teaming with the likes of Michelle McCool, Maria, Gail Kim. She was kind of bouncing in between being a face and a heel. She was doing lots of weird things. But it was when she moved to Raw in 2009 and 2010 that she was starting to actually work more in the ring. She would work with the likes of Kelly, Mickie James, Maurice, Gail Kim, all these kind of different women, and she would work for the Divas Championship against Mickie James, against Eve Torres, against the Bellas, with Eve Torres. She was kind of bouncing around. Alicia Fox's time in WWE is always going to be described as a little bit odd, a little bit kind of like fluctuating with the amount of use that she was getting and then not getting. It was very evident in her time between 2008 and 2010. On June 20th, 2010, at the Fatal 4-Way WWE pay-per-view, Alicia Fox would compete in a Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Divas Championship, including, of course, Gail Kim, Eve Torres, and Maurice. Alicia Fox would pin Maurice to win the championship for the first, and as a result, become the first and only African-American diva to win the championship in the Divas title history. Alicia Fox's only reign as Divas Champion would end at 56 days when she lost to Melina at SummerSlam in August of 2010. Now, again, fluctuating. Alicia Fox was someone that I think was very underutilized throughout her many years in WWE, which we're going to get into. However, she would work again for the Divas Championship. Of course, in 2011, she and Eve Torres were the first ever female performers to wrestle for WWE in China, doing their first ever live event in the country, which of course was held in Shanghai. Now, Alicia Fox again would work for the Divas Championship and failed to gain the Divas Championship throughout the year, working with the likes of Natalya, Kelly, Melina, Eve Torres, among many others. Alicia Fox was utilized in a way that was really weird throughout the years, and something in the early to mid 2010s that she was involved with was the actual reboot, or introduction, reboot, whatever you want to call it, of what we knew as NXT as the competition, and as it moved to Full Sail. She was of course a part of the inaugural NXT Women's Championship tournament. She would get to the semi-finals in that. Again, fluctuating. Alicia was just in and out of storylines. She was never really a main focal point of which I think she could be doing a lot more. She was showing that she could work in a time where we know now, but also was still complying to the time of the Divas division. It was a really weird time, but she would work with the likes of Natalya and Beth, collectively known as the Divas of Doom. She was kind of a punching bag for that storyline when they were working with Kelly and other women in that time. In 2013, of course, Total Divas would begin. Now, while Alicia Fox wasn't a regular season 1, I guess you could say OG Total Diva, she would be put into the cast of Total Divas amongst season 3. She would work for a few years on WWE's Total Divas, and it actually got us an opportunity to work on TV way more. Of course, we all know the AJ Lee kind of versus the Total Divas storyline. Alicia Fox was involved in that on and off, and then when she was in Total Divas, and it was a whole time. But Alicia Fox did appear on Total Divas. I've talked about Total Divas at length here on this show about how I feel about it and what it did for women in this business, getting it more eyes and all that kind of stuff. Alicia Fox was part of it, and it got an opportunity when she was in and out of storylines in WWE television, never really a focal point. She was actually able to show that she had personality, was actually able to get some TV time. I know it's a different TV time, but it's still TV time to a totally different audience. Alicia Fox utilized that, was able to gain it in the ring, and of course work with the likes of AJ and Caitlyn and Nikki Bella, and she even got to kind of do stuff with Stephanie McMahon. If you remember the WWE app days, Alicia Fox was involved with a whole story with Stephanie McMahon. Look it up, it's a real thing. She would work throughout these years of Total Divas and work with, again, Paige, Naomi, when the Divas division was changing into what we know it is now. Alicia Fox was a part of that, which we're going to get into. The Divas Revolution. Yes. In mid-2015, we were in for a little bit of a change to what we knew as the then Divas division. Now, of course, consisted of 3 teams. Paige, Becky, Charlotte, they were PCB, Naomi, Tamina, Sasha Banks, which were Team Bad, and then, of course, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, and Alicia Fox, Team Bella. Now, we would see these 3 different teams kind of go at it throughout the mid-2015 to the end of 2015, was the introduction to change what we knew about women. A lot of people look at that storyline and kind of go, ugh. It was what it was. Do I think it was the greatest thing ever? No. But did it change? It planted seeds for what we knew. Of course, Charlotte was a big focal point of that. Alicia Fox was actually getting time, though. For the first time in her career, she was actually getting time to work full matches, to actually show what she can do. Now, Alicia Fox is a very polarizing figure when it comes to women of, oh my god, some people are on the train of like, she cannot work, she cannot wrestle, she was terrible. Then there's other people on the other side of the train that are like, hey, no, Alicia Fox is really damn good, and you just didn't get to see it because you didn't get to see it utilized too much. When Alicia Fox was given opportunities to go, she proved that she could go. Now, I don't know, I'm not here to tell you what to think, I'm just here to provide you with some things that happened throughout that time, to say, hey, Alicia Fox actually did get opportunities, and if you actually go back and watch these things, Alicia Fox was showing. Now, was it in the 3 versus 3 feud? I don't necessarily think so, but what is it, little things after that, when the women's division was building, when they actually became women, when they actually became superstars in the ring, it was building, it was showing that Alicia Fox could hang with the likes of Charlotte and Becky and Sasha and Paige, people like that, Natty, all of these kind of people. She would of course work at WrestleMania 32 and the Total Divas versus True Divas kind of weird thing that they did. I think it was Team Bad and Blonde or something like that. I don't really know exactly what you want to call it, but Alicia Fox was a part of that. She was a part of the Total Divas team. Again, she would do many different things that I think people sometimes kind of... I don't know what you would want to call it, but Alicia Fox was doing things that women have never done. In 2016, she was the first ever female performer in WWE history to appear in front of a live crowd in the Middle East, where she kicked off the show in Dubai. I mean, she didn't wrestle, but she appeared in a Middle Eastern country. We don't need to get into that debacle, but Alicia Fox was able to do that, as a woman of color doing that as well. So, just, you can kind of connect the dots and kind of make an assessment for yourself of like, hey, that's pretty damn important. If you want proof that Alicia Fox can go, I suggest you go to TLC 2017. She would work in the kickoff show against Sasha Banks, and boy oh boy did they kill it. Trust me, go back and watch it. But Alicia Fox was working with the likes of Sasha Banks in this time when Sasha was kind of out of the title picture in 2016 and 2017. Alicia Fox was working with Sasha Banks, and they were doing really cool things. Alicia Fox kind of went through a little bit of a character shift, becoming more crazy and doing things with when she was working on 205 Live, when she was doing different. It was a whole thing, and Alicia was starting to get some time to work on her character stuff. She was actually a great comedy hand too. If you watch a lot of Alicia Fox things, she was able to do some funny stuff. But working with the likes of them in a time where we're in a transitional period with women in WWE, when we're showing different women, Alicia Fox was there from 2007, 2008 until 2019, working consistently and working with the likes of all different generations of women. Alicia Fox can hang, guys. If you don't want to believe me, that's fine, but I'm on the camp of Alicia Fox was doing a lot of cool stuff, and I think she flew under the radar throughout her whole professional career. In 2018, Alicia Fox would have her first and only main event match on Monday Night Raw for her career. She would lose, of course, but of course to Ronda Rousey in a time where Ronda Rousey was as hot as ever. Alicia Fox then in October of 2018 would of course work with Trish Stratus and Lita at Evolution, teaming with Mickie James. Do things on the Mixed Match Challenge. Her career was coming to a little bit of a halt. She was, kind of winding down for some personal issues and stuff like that, which we're not going to get into. However, in 2019, she would call it quits, and saying that she was no longer a full-time competitor. But she got to do many different things. I think that the problem with Alicia Fox is that people look towards accolades, people look towards accomplishments. It's like, oh, they did that, so therefore they're successful. Sometimes just being in the mix is being successful. Sometimes floating under the radar and people having to dig for your stuff is being successful. And that doesn't make a lot of sense, but trust me, guys. I really think you need to go back and actually look at Alicia Fox's body of work. Then judge her. Then you have the right to say whether she was bad or not. Alicia Fox was really damn good. Really damn good. That's going to do it for this week's episode of The Legacy Of. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, let me know what you think about Alicia Fox in the comments. Let me know what you think about The Legacy Of as well in the comments. You can follow me pretty much everywhere across the board at JoshRobinson_00. Follow Love Wrestling at Love Wrestling CA. I'm sorry I'm a little under the weather, as you can probably hear in my voice. I got the sniffles, guys, which is fun, which is real fun. But like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. I'll see you next week. Peace out, friends.